The path to hell is paved with good intentions. That's why we have nothing but the best intentions here at the Best Intentions podcast. I'm your host for today, as always, Shady Aftermath. Everybody already know. I'm here today with another co-host.
Yo, how's it going? You're sitting right here with Abe the Ape, right here in the pad.
LBC, as
LBC,
always.
As always.
Got a special guest today, very special guest here today.
Yo, you already know who this is. BD to LA, Bengali Prince, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very good friends of mine. Excited for today's episode number 4 of the podcast. I know it's been a while, so, take it easy on us. But we're back, so that's the most important thing here. Let's focus on the good. So we got a couple of things we want to talk to you with everybody here about today. First thing is, as of recent, I don't know if anybody here is on keeping up with social media, but there's a big meme going around with the red flags,
Yep,
Red flag.
Yeah, so it kind of got me thinking, I think it would be a good episode to, to talk with you guys, about, some red flags. I know you guys are out there dating and stuff like that, had some relationships in the past that were unsuccessful. We probably saw a lot of these red flags, and we discarded them for whatever reason. So, I'm going to let y'all start with it, man. What's some red flags you guys seen or, people, you've been with in the past have, giving you that you've discarded? Let's start with that. Red flags that you've seen before that you've discarded for XYZ reasons.
Red flags. Let's see.
I'll start with one if you guys want. For me, for example, I got, this is you get older, right? Everyone got, smartphones and stuff like that. And something I noticed is, a big red flag for me is, if everyone's watching the audio or the video, you see right now I got a phone. If a girl leaves it like that, flip down, that's a fucking red flag for me.
Red flag.
What the fuck you hiding,
Fact.
Especially if we're at dinner or something, I know better. I fucking know better, bro. I've experienced that firsthand, so I'm gonna say hey, she's probably talking to somebody she shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Then here's another one. If the phone is down, face down, that's one thing. But if it's in her face the whole time that you're hanging out and she's barely giving you any attention, she's texting away, thumbs going crazy on that phone the whole time, that as well is also a red flag. It's two extremes, she's either one is his face down, that's the first one, and then if she's on it way too much when you're trying to have an interaction, that's another one for me.
Nah, the facts, bro. Facts. Another red flag too. I think it is. I mean, this is this. Oh man, we could just go. Oh man, this is opened up a big can of worms.
I think a really good red flag is if you're with somebody and she's not really bringing other than just one thing to the table and not about growing and just continuously just want to have fun and do this and that, not really be on a schedule to, grow from where she is now or build together. That's definitely a red flag. She's just trying to have fun. Definitely red flag, baby.
Yeah, fact.
Those you just have fun, you go in, get out.
Just take care of yourself, King. You know what I'm saying? Let's accept that. Just take that L right now. I think another red flag for me is someone that can't take accountability.
Facts.
That's a big one.
Yeah, just anybody like that. But that's that's not even just relationship.
A red flag, you need somebody who can't accept that they're wrong. That's another red flag.
I mean, that's one thing I know.
Mistakes.
Because I don't even care about being right. Honestly, I don't care about being right or wrong. I'd rather be wrong because at least that way I could learn something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it just sucks to beat a fucking dead horse.
Yep.
Sometimes, to keep having certain conversations over and over.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to get a point across and the point isn't being heard, then there's obviously something going on mentally with that person as to where they are programmed in a way to believe a certain thing, and you might be able to, if you're trying to convey a message to that person, they may already have some preconceived notions of the way that they're already thinking of a certain subject, and whatever you tell them is really just, they might listen to you, but they're not really, they might hear you, but they're not really listening to you. It's just a in one ear, out the other kind of thing. And, the only thing that matters is their opinion. That's another big red flag.
Man, I would say another big red flag, definitely, when she says, "That's just the way I am."
Oh
Man, if she says that's just the way I am, it's like, come on now, you just never gonna change. All right, but then expect me to change. Goodbye.
Or if she's or if she's into like astrology, and she's like,
It's because I'm a Libra.
I'm this way because I'm an asparagus.
It's
Like,
because I'm an asparagus. She wants to blame everything on her, on all her actions. It's all because she's a Scorpio, baby. It's all because she's a Scorpio.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so like that's another red flag. Like that's fact that that's the way I am. Like what? Like 'cause that tells me like what, that you're incapable of changing. Like or acknowledging that like just whatever you're doing is unacceptable.
Definitely.
Because I can only imagine that's the only time you're really having that conversation.
A wise man once said, whenever you put yourself in a box or you put a label on yourself, you limit your abilities to grow as a person or to expand your mind upon more than just one train of thinking or actions. And so by putting that label on yourself, like, oh, I'm this, or oh, I'm that, so I should be acting like this, or I should be acting like that, it's pretty much like priming your subconscious to make you act in a certain way. Like, no, don't put those labels on yourself, just be you. Sometimes sometimes you might be talkative, sometimes you might be quiet. Doesn't mean that you're extroverted or introverted, or I'm this or I'm that. No, people are different in all different situations in life. So depending, that's what makes us adaptable. That's why we're the most thriving life form on this planet, is because we adapt. We can adapt to from one situation to another in different scenarios. So I wouldn't want to put myself in a box and limit myself by labeling myself in a certain way. Oh, I'm this, so I must be emotional or this or whatever. Like, fuck all that shit. Really, honestly, in my opinion. So.
No, you're right, man. You're right. Man, what are some more red flags you guys could think of, man? You got one? You got one, Abe?
Red flag.
What's a red flag for you, man?
I would say one red flag for sure. When she got a male best friend, and he just and they just always hanging out, texting, doing this and that.
Damn,
and it's like knowing your relationship business to this person, either he or she, that's a definitely red flag. I would be like, come on now. If it's a relationship, it's between two people, not three. We don't need to get everybody involved.
Ooh, man. And that's not the only reason that's a red flag, though. You know what I'm saying? We all know the real reason.
Intention.
Yeah, we already know why he's even her fucking friend putting up with her bullshit.
The dude that she tells you to watch out for, or that you don't have to watch out for, is usually the dude you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
So, like, I don't want no excuses for that shit. I don't know. Like, there ain't no way I'm justifying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And. Yeah, it's just that, but that comes back to what we said earlier, like, about like just like not being like accountable, and then here's the truth too, is that like they have a certain use for certain people, and then it's like in my opinion, if they're not quick to like stop talking to said best friend or whatever the case may be, like that shows that like she's probably preparing for that shit not to work. So that's why she doesn't want to cut the connection off, because she doesn't want to lose that connection because of you. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's something to watch out for too.
Monkey branching.
Man.
Yeah, and something that just came to my mind right now, actually, that like really pisses me off is like, okay, like you guys could correct me if I'm wrong here. Maybe like I'm speaking for myself or I'm speaking for all men here, but I don't know. But I feel like as a man, like we only have two things, right? Our balls and our word. Right?
That's right.
We can't break them for no one.
That's
We heard this. We heard this many fucking times, okay? So,
can't break them.
With that said, if I say something that is literal, okay? I cannot be with someone who takes what I say and is not taking it serious. Like, if I tell you, like, oh, like, for example, like, this is like something super simple and silly, but it's just like the principle over here is like, if I say like, okay, like I made like reservations at 9, I show up at like 8:30 to come get you or whatever it is, and you're thinking like you're not ready and you think it's a joke and oh, I didn't know you were serious about like what do you mean? Like, you know, what do you mean? Like, what am I wasting my breath for? What am I wasting my fucking time for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like that's like one thing too. You know, I think like another thing, another red flag is I think like a certain degree of effort. If you're expending a certain degree of effort, and it's not, and you're not feeling like, if you're not getting like gratitude back, or you're not getting the same kind of effort back, I feel like that's like a red flag. Like, you know, you gotta understand, like, you know, if you agree on something and there's a constant deviation from the plan, right? I feel like that's a red flag.
Yeah. Exactly. She's not allowing you to lead the relationship and fulfill your role as the leader, you know, in that aspect. And when there's a conflict of roles involved, you know, that really shows a level of distrust in the relationship. It means that she doesn't trust your judgment as a leader and your character as a leader. So that's a big red flag. And just to build off of exactly what, you know, over Chatty Aftermath over here was saying.
Oh, and I think like another like red flag is too like something. Oh man, I forgot where I was gonna go with it, but it was something about just like constant like, I don't know. I forgot where I was going with it, man. Something about negative behavior, man. I forgot where I was going. I forgot where I was going.
Even the questioning.
Nah, you said something. I got like the light bulb going. I got like the light bulb going, and then yeah.
See, there's nothing wrong with questioning. It's just when the questioning leads to alternative actions, and that's when you know that there is some sort of a deviation from your leadership.
I remembered what I was gonna say. Okay, is that like a red flag for me is like when you approach somebody with positivity and kindness, and they reciprocate that like with like the exact opposite, you know, with hatred, distrust, like being taken for granted, like, you know, being complacent, making no effort, come to expect it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that's a red flag, because then it's like you have to like raise your voice, you have to get mad. And then, then you can have the dialogue that like has been avoided for whatever like reason. You know, like they only respond like the way you want when you have to get like crazy and shit. You know, it always has to get to that point. But when you do talk to them with kindness and you like do things the proper way, like they kind of like, you know, like to expand the goalpost, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you give them an inch, they take a foot, so to speak.
Exactly.
You know, that's a red flag for me.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, man. That's just like, you know, that's just a part of life. But you know what I'm saying? And then like another like red flag too is like, especially like as a man, right? Like some of our duties is what, like protection. Yeah. And it's like you do like when you're making the effort as a man to do, like to protect like your loved ones, right? Like in this case, like either your daughter, your girl, your family, right? And they're taking decisions like the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not allowed, like they're not seeing what you're seeing. Like we see certain things as men, and you know, for me it's always been about like preventative measures, like, right? Like it's like, you know, when your homie tells you like, hey, like I got your back, like I'll beat up like whoever for you, like I'll shoot up whoever for you, like whatever, right? You're like, damn, like I'd fucking love to have that, right? So when you see that, like there's two types of different people, right? There's the type of person that's like that starts getting crazy with everyone after that because he knows he got those homies with him. You know what I'm saying? Starts like picking fights he wouldn't normally pick because now he knows he got people with him. And then there's like, I think the second type of person, which I like to consider myself in that person, is like, okay, cool, like I'll have to have that, but I hope I never need that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I never put my friends in that position to like to like
Have to be
to,
it,
yeah,
to-
you know
to-
what I'm saying,
to-
like
yeah.
that's cool to have,
Put
man. It's
themselves in
flattering,
danger,
you know,
just because you know they will.
yeah, exactly,
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So like
Ba-
it's always been about preventative measures.
Right. Basically, like when people try to just take advantage of your the resource that you've provided to them as a source, like when you offer an amount of loyalty to somebody as their friend, right? Or or even just in terms of like relationship or whatever, just that source of loyalty that you offer to that person, and then they want to take advantage of that loyalty that you gave them by taking it to the next step, pretty much. Yeah.
It's a cliche as fuck, man. But it's like you really don't know what you have till it's gone, right? Like and then after that, then people want to start appreciating, and that's why that's another red flag. How about that? Like people that don't give you your flowers now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Give your flowers now, man. Like if you got someone like you love or you appreciate, let them fucking know, man. That's it. It takes fucking 2 seconds to fucking say that shit. Congratulate them on their fucking on their like accomplishments, and be there with them in the downtime and everything in between. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like it takes one phone call, say, hey man, been a minute, love you, cool, see you soon. You know what I'm saying? It don't gotta be more than that.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely.
I agree with that.
Man, but that's just like, yeah, like that's just, I saw those memes, like another, like here's some comedy shit, like one of my boys was like, if she eats wine, that's a red flag. And I was like, yeah, that is, and then to which I replied, if she eats the swine, she's not just your girl, she's his and mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're gonna engage in that swine like behavior. But that's a different topic though.
Yeah, and absolutely, and everything with these red flags, it really just goes to show, it kind of taps into this other subject, which is mental health, and I think something that's really important about being able to identify the red flags and knowing how to combat the adversity that they might, present in your life. Being able to identify them and knowing how to combat that adversity is a big part of your mental health. Man. And mental health, obviously, it's like one of those topics that's been, out. It's been of great concern in the in the public eye for the past, like, I would say, 10 to 15 years it's been growing. And it's, big part of that is also the social media that everybody, well, I don't want to say everybody, but the majority of the population seems to be, flooding their mind with things that they see every day, images, addicted to their phones, constantly scrolling through pictures and videos and, this and that, and little snippets and bits and things that just pretty much, take up all of your mental capacity throughout the day. That's just one of those things that has, I think really, really contributed to that.
To kind of like piggyback that
for mental health.
A little bit off that. Remember what we're talking about, like off podcast, was like, I was talking to like that like young homie of mine, like he was telling me, like I just want like a wife, like trust me, bro, like I could put up with like a lot, like. And then I told him, whoa, like that's a red flag, like I was like, bro, I was like, because I was in that position, I was just in that position. I was like, telling him, like, look, bro, like I feel like he's a good-hearted boy, like young guy, like good heart, no bad intentions. I feel him like he's the same way, trying to do it right with somebody, blah blah blah. Like when you love somebody, like right, you'll put up with anything as like a proof of your loyalty, right? And it's like just because you can put up with all that doesn't mean you should. So, and that's how I think it comes down to, right? Like,
absolutely, doesn't mean you should.
After some point, you have to start like looking out for yourself, because like when it's all said and done, you might have been there for somebody, but then, they might leave you, or like they might, just be like, I can't do this right now. I need to focus on me. And it's like, damn, okay, so like you're so damn focused on you. I was helping you out. So like, what are you left with after that? You know what I'm saying? You're left with nothing. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with doing shit out of the kindness of your heart. We know, like it says, like, what in the Quran, like what reward is there for good other than good, right? So we know that at the end of the day. But at the same time, like, you want to protect your heart. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Do certain things, protect your time and effort and all that. Like, don't engage in, what I'm saying? Like, just make sure that like it's being, like everything's being reciprocated. Like reciprocation is big, man. And appreciation is big too.
Genuine reciprocation for sure.
Yeah, I think that's big, man. That's a big thing for me, because like you gotta like look out for yourself. Help people out as much as you can, but like at some point, like
You're gonna need some help.
Yeah, you have to know. Like if you're a giver, you have to know your limits because takers don't have any. Because takers don't have any limits. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like about protecting your health and protecting your heart too. You know, because that's a big part of it. Like people's hearts breaks and their fucking mental goes to shit. You know. And then, but with that said, like that could lead to other good things though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, you just got to use that fuel, like that negative, like you got to be an alchemist, man. Turn the negative into a positive, honestly. Like, yeah, like with this, like, okay, so you feeling bad, you had a heartbreak, whatever the fuck, man, get the fuck over that shit, okay? And get your ass in the fucking gym, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get in the fucking gym. You get like start focusing on yourself. Get your money right. Like start like I mean. I know this. Like being like single, like recently, unfortunately, due to outside circumstances, but like. I know I have more money now, so I can do more things with it. So like do more things with that. You know what I'm saying? More money, more free time. Focus on yourself, get your money. Like you told me that the other day. Like you know what I'm saying? Then that shit like actually like resonated. Like now he was like, hey man, like just he's like you don't need to rush into anything again. He's like just focus on yourself. I was like, man, this guy's fucking. That's how I know that's good advice. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know it's like that's who you want to surround yourself with. People that talk to you like that. You know what I'm saying? But you were gonna say something? You were gonna chime in?
Oh yeah. No, I was just gonna say was a big part of like getting to becoming the best version of yourself. Is obviously the finances. Getting your money right, making sure your mental health is in a good state, and then also like get in that gym, man. Get in that gym while you can. The younger the better. You start young, you stay consistent. Make sure you get your cardiovascular health up to date. You're getting those steps in as much as possible because that your health is something that you're never gonna once you lose it, it's hard to come. It's hard to get it back.
I got a question for you guys. Me and Nahid were talking about this the other day. Okay, so like the other day, full disclosure, little story time. Okay, like we're chilling like a couple weeks ago, and it was a couple weeks ago. We were at the most like last week. Last week or something? Last week, 2 weeks ago. Comes, kicks it with me. Okay, we're talking about like, man, like when we missed the gym, we want to get back in the gym, right? Okay, so like we made a pact to start getting back in the gym, okay? Yeah. So we're like the first week, second week into this shit right now, okay? My question is to you. So I asked him this, and we had like a little back and forth. We had a good discussion. I want to talk to you because me and you always like work out and stuff like that, okay? So like, I want to see like what you think. Like, okay, so we're talking about like we're just starting off. And we're like wondering like what do you think like as far as like working out certain muscle groups, like do you think it's better to do compound workouts like buys and buys and like back, like tries and chest, or is it better to do like individual like how we did at one point?
I got you. Like, it really depends on
what do you feel like
what you're trying to target. I mean, a lot of times compound motions are the best for building stamina and overall like functionality strength is what I would call it. In terms of like. When you're doing motions that involve different muscle groups, obviously that's gonna help your overall functional motion and your strength in that motion pretty much. So like for example, like if you're doing a pull up, that's gonna require multiple different aspects of your body, your biceps, and obviously your lats and the rhomboids and parts of the shoulders, as well as maybe like the center part of the back. Can't recall what the two muscles in the center are called, but and your core, obviously, your core from the inside and the stabilization that it requires to stay straight and all of that. So the thing is like there's no wrong or there's no right, like 100% correct way to work out as long as you're using good form and you're making sure that you are not straining any part of your like your spine. I would say is a good indicator as well. And but obviously isolating certain muscle groups also does have its benefit. If you're trying to, like for example, like if you're trying to grow your chest, maybe you want to dedicate a whole day to chest because the chest muscles are they're vast, and there's different parts of your chest, and one workout by when you incorporate only one muscle group at a time, the isolation of working on that muscle group really allows it to grow to its full capacity. So there's a time and place to isolate different muscle groups, and then I believe that there's a time and place to use compound motions. The way I like to do it is I like to change up my routine every,
Okay,
like
let's
3
say
to 5 months or so.
let's say you're starting out though. What would you do?
If I was starting out, I would really be just looking to build a strong base. Make sure you're doing plenty of core workouts. Make sure you're, from square one really is just like get into your body. Get familiar with the way your body like moves, the mobility. Your arms, your legs, everything. Make sure you're getting good stretches in, so that you can understand how far you can push your muscles and which ways you can stretch them. Build a strong core, I would say. Do lots of calisthenics, and then I would personally, if I was just starting off in the gym, I would do a lot of compound exercises and incorporate different muscle groups, but I wouldn't get too specific like on each group. Basically you just want to build a strong base form before you start isolating, pretty much is what I would say.
Gotcha. You know what, it's funny that you say that, because that's like the conclusion that we came up with too.
I would say how I wanted to start off was, like you said, like everybody has a different body style. Some things work for other people and those things don't work for other people. Right. Because everybody knows their limits. Everybody needs a starting point. That's the main thing. You have to have a starting point. Once you have a starting point, you get a routine. From the routine, that's where you start building. That's where you create like little set goals for yourself. You're like, okay, now I have my foot in the door. Now I'm in the door. Now what do I do from here? What can I build on? That's when you can, I would say, like let's say you want to get from a skinny guy to a pretty solid amount of weight. You want to put on mass compound workouts. For me, I would say, just for my experience, compound workouts work for me as a starting point. I would just go into the gym, do my little mile. From there on, go into compound workouts, do deadlifts like 3 sets, do squats for like 3 sets, and then from there on, I would isolate my body. And then just me doing that for about, I would say, 3 months or so, gave me mass, gave me more strength, gave me abilities to build, gave me more energy and more power to actually isolate all my different muscle groups. And then from there on, I was able to get cut. I was able to do different things. I was, much better shape. I was able to run faster. I was able to lift more. So, like I said, like everybody's different. That's one thing that worked out for me. This thing may work for other people, may not. But, you just have to give it a try. Trying is the best thing you could do. If you don't try, you're just missing out. This is just a chance. You try, you get a chance. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's like what it is. It's like you just like, honestly, like, everybody goes through things, in life. And then, just hitting back on the mental health point, it's like, yeah, we understand, like, everybody has problems. Everybody has different ways of dealing with it. But I would say the main thing is, like, if you really want to get to where you want to be, you would really have to stop what you're doing right now, because what you're doing right now is not going to get you there. It's, you already done it. Yeah. What are you doing every day now? The same thing. The same thing is definitely not working. So it's like, if it's not working, you need to be changing yourself. Absolutely. So it's like, that's where the routine comes in. That's where, like, old habits die hard. So it's like, you literally just got to replace your old habits with healthier habits, or healthier choices, with things that is actually helping you, motivating you to be better. It's easier said than done, but it's like, the mind is a powerful thing. You know how to control every aspect of your mind, you'll be able to control your body, what you eat, how you manage your time, how do you manage your day. And then, if you build on a routine, you build on a routine and you just take it and you elevate it, that will get you to the goals you want to be at. That will make you disciplined. That will make you a hard worker, humble, caring, loving, respectful. But it's like, that's the straight path, straight path. That's it. You already know.
Yeah, well said. I definitely agree with that point on there. Becoming a master of your mind is really the lifelong journey, the lifelong work that's gonna take to reach those pinnacles that you want to get to, and being able to develop the discipline, the mental discipline to stick to certain routines. That's really where where you see the fruits of your labor. Sticking to those good habits.
Exactly. Like that's why I think what you said was like big, like about like the habits and even the routine, right? Like that's what I found for myself. Like I said, like I'm like 2 weeks in this shit, like. And it's like you know what I think, like I really like that was helping me just because like right, like you said something earlier, like just making the motion, right, like you said, make the action, bro, just fucking, like we used to say back in the day, make a move, you gotta make the move, you gotta make the move. Yeah, you gotta make the move, right? So like what's helping me make the move right now is like getting a set time to go. Wow, bro, just that shit. I don't know. It was just so simple.
That's
like,
correct.
Like So I like shout out to Salman. He just picked the time for us to go, bro, and then like that's it. Yeah. Okay. So it's like 8 o'clock. Boom. Like we're there. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And then like you said, it becomes a habit. It becomes a lifestyle, right? Like then you have a certain outlet for things. You can let all that stuff out. That's great. And it helps even more. Like like they say, prayer is like magnified. In numbers. So like what about everything else? Right. Yeah. And then like it comes down to like the dean, right? Like that like everything else is like magnified. Like when you got a good group, you got to motivate it. Like it comes back to like who you're surrounding yourself with, because a big part of your mental health is who you're surrounding yourself with, man.
Facts.
There's a lot of people that's out there doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and they're trying to involve you in that. Why? Because misery loves company. You know what I'm saying? And they need a partner in crime, bro. They need someone to feel bad with them. And they want to fucking trauma bond with your ass and shit like that. And they want to base the friendship off that. And it's like
horrible together.
Yeah, because why? Because you're more malleable that way. You're more controllable that way. And there's a lot of like what do they call them? Spiritual vampires out there, man.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful for that shit. So it's like about being around motivated people, man. Like go. Got to pick like some good activities to do things with, like a good activity to do things with people with, like. Like for example, that's why I said we were talking about working out, because for all three of us, like working out is a big part of it, right? Like you're playing ball, working out, all that shit. Like it's cool to like do positive things and like see your body transform in a positive way. Get into like the result state. Because we used to be putting hours in the gym, and and it's beautiful when you see the results. So like
Yeah, absolutely.
And the only reason I'm even asking you motherfuckers is because I've seen results. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear shit about you guys talking to me about fitness.
No, it's definitely the physical aspect, and but it's just going back to touching to like connecting it to a previous topic, is that that physical aspect and that discipline that you develop in the gym really helps you to focus. I can just speak from personal experiences that, when I'm not in the gym regularly, at my set time and doing my routines, and I'm not on my grind, I really suffer mentally, and I feel like I can't think straight, and there's just something missing. It's like that time, that meditation time, that, stress relief of being in the gym, and missing out on all that dopamine that hits when you and all that just those endorphins that come out of the that chemical reaction you get from that feel good reaction of getting the pump and feeling like you're accomplished. You got your workout in. You've contributed that day's portion of effort into bettering yourself as a person. That really helps a lot mentally. It helps you to have better clarity when thinking, and that's just really how I see it. That's kind of what I've experienced
Yeah, it's a discipline because it's like when you miss one day, then like then it just becomes 2 days,
2 days.
and
Absolutely.
everything
Snowball.
like goes like
It's a snowball effect. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
yeah, man.
And
So
it's
like
you could keep up with the physical, the mental, and then the spiritual follows right after. You align all those three aspects right. I'm telling you, that is the cheat code to winning life.
hey, you heard it here first on the Best Intentions podcast, man. Y'all getting put up on game for
Come
free
on
here, man.
now.
You know what I'm saying? Like and like we'll talk about this like you know big like motivation like for us to like wanted to do this like we've been listening to a few podcasts, we want to just like shout out a few podcasts like real quick like hey, you want to take it away right here?
Hey, shout out there to you all out there in Miami doing it, fresh and fit.
Yes,
We really
sir.
respect
Yes,
you
sir.
guys'
Yes,
podcast and what y'all do out there, man, because, you're really putting everybody up out there, man, that, a lot of the simps, man, they don't really know what to do when it comes to, like, their how to deal with women and relationships and how the dynamic has changed, in recent years in terms of dating culture and all that. Y'all really do a service to these young men out here, man. And I've actually learned quite a few things from your guys' perspective as well. So shout out to y'all, fresh and fit out there in Miami.
Yeah, from content creation to like because like they pump out content, man. There's
solid content.
there's like three podcasts a day type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's tough, man. Like you saw like what we had to do just to get one out, just to get the energy for one, and they're doing this shit like constantly. So like I know I could applaud effort. A couple other podcasts I listen to, man. It's Flagrant 2 podcast. That shit is fucking hilarious, man. Those fools are cool. What's another one I listen to? Brilliant Idiots podcast. That's just hilarious, man. Those are cool too. You got a lot of good stuff from there, So it's good. Like I'm so fucking happy to get like on like to be back out here doing this shit. Like get y'all on here because I'm always telling y'all like let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm glad that we're doing this.
Finally made it happen.
So how you feel? Like this is the Bengali Prince himself's first. First
to LA, baby.
First podcast, so like how you feeling on here?
First, never last, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Says it all.
That's how it goes.
But like with that said, like so like we talked about like physical activity and working out. Like all of us like enjoy basketball together.
Definitely.
The basketball season just started. Was it yesterday?
Oh man.
Yeah. So like
Right.
we're all Laker fans
Lakers
here.
took an L. It's all right. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. We're just trying to get our sea legs out there. See how we mesh with chemistry. There's definitely Russell Westbrook played very passive that game, which I really didn't like seeing him play because that's not the type of player he is. I think they'll probably talk to him, maybe revamp his way of style and go back to the way he is, attack mode. Always Mr. Triple Double. So if we could figure all that out, everybody knows their roles and knows what to do.
I got a
championship,
crazy
baby.
Theory. I got a crazy theory for the Lakers to make this work.
Go ahead.
Hear me out here, okay?
All right.
There's two theories. I don't know. Tell me which one you guys like better, okay? The first one is bench Westbrook, have him come out as 6-man, leader of the second unit, have him play with the second unit. Fucking explode in the second. Like he'll fucking do so good with the second unit. Start Rondo.
I see what you're saying.
Start Rondo. Like
Yeah.
let him let Westbrook come out with the second unit like Dwight Howard and them cats and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then let them do that because Rondo already played with him before. You know what I'm saying? He knows what he's doing. And they kind of got that, like he'll fit, and then like Westbrook could do his thing as the leader of the second unit. He can take like the floor as he wants. Or the first thing is, because like people's egos get hurt when they don't start or like whatever have you. Yeah. So this first thing is like have him play like the first few minutes, okay, like first 6 minutes of the first quarter. Then bench Westbrook, have him come out later with the bench. You know what I'm saying? So like you could do that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I like it, but then they would have to put their pride aside. Players don't want to put their pride aside. That's very tough. Come on now. Yeah. And Russell Westbrook, he's a very vocal player. He'll let you know what's the deal. So I don't know. I feel like I said, you gotta see what's going on with these players' pride. You gotta see what they're about to compromise and see what they're okay with and not okay. It's a lot of egos in that locker room. Definitely a lot of egos. So it's like, come on now, if we could mesh those egos together, This is championship team. But if we can't, I'm telling you, this is a disaster.
But you know what though? Here's what I always say too, as far as like losing in like new teams, especially like we'll say like most of them are friends or like homies. So like if like you know like us, we've been on teams before and like you know like we've lost, right? Like we've lost together, right? I think like if you could win together.
You could lose.
Like anyone can say like this guy's the fucking best player when we're fucking winning.
Absolutely.
But when we're fucking losing, what are you gonna fucking say about me?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's the real part. So I think like it's good to go through adversity, especially in the beginning when it doesn't hurt you as much. You know, then you kind of like figure that out and you can kind of you can build from there. So like yeah, it's taking a little time, but that's how you know it's gonna work. You know?
Yeah, generally I think it's just as well. Like if I could just chime in on this one. Figuring out the dynamic of how things are going to go, as far as like, everyone's energy and, Nahida already hit on this as well, the chemistry involved, with how the players are going to, and the egos that are involved, and just, considering the fact relatively that, there's been a lot of new pickups very recently, the dynamic still has to be formed, amongst the team because they haven't had a whole lot of time to really play together, so
Makes sense, yeah.
it makes sense that they're, in the beginning they may not have their step together,
it's kind of like a good sign too because it's like everyone you can see like Westbrook's trying to pass the ball, like you know what I'm saying, he's trying to like he's making it, at least the effort is being made. I feel like you know what I'm saying. So like okay, like who do you think is like. Who do you think they got? Like, who Lakers got to watch out for on the West? Like, I don't feel like they got to watch out for anybody.
Yeah, me neither.
Like who? Like, I don't. Like, I'm not worried about the Suns. I hate to say it.
Golden State is looking good.
Huh?
Golden State is looking
Golden State, maybe.
That was a fluke that we lost. That was a fluke.
That's a fluke.
We kind of gave up. That's what happened.
If you
gave up fourth quarter coming into from the third, bro. We were up by like 15 fucking points.
Mm-hmm.
Come back fourth quarter, we were like, yo. What happened? Why was there a big fucking shift and turnaround? I think second half is what really killed us. Second half, it was like, bro, third quarter.
Fourth quarter was terrible, though.
Fourth quarter was terrible. Third quarter, it was tied game. Fourth quarter, it was just like downhill.
Yeah, they really outscored them by like...
Like, why didn't we close? We're having the same issues just like last season. We're not closing. So if we can't get that closing part right, this is going to be very risky for the team. But, like, how does a baby work? It needs to crawl first before you can stand. And then it stands, and then it walks. And then it walks, and then it runs. Same thing's going to go with the Lakers, baby. Come on now. This is a whole new revamped team. We got to give it some time. It's okay. Die-hard Laker fan. Been doing it since I was born, baby. You already know. I'm a ride or die. I don't care. We got Melo in the cut. We got Russell Westbrook. What?
Yeah.
Come on, baby. AD, LeBron. Oh, man. We got a solid ass squad. Come on now, we should be solid. So just give us some time, let us work out through all these little insecurities, egos, and prides and shit. And then after all said and done, we're gonna come back on top. Let's get it, world champs.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, even Brooklyn ain't even like looking too good, honestly. Kyrie or not, like they're
Milwaukee looking better than Brooklyn.
Yeah, Milwaukee's looking really good. They look like they're gonna walk out the East, honestly. They look like they're walking out the East.
They already got that. They already got that. They're already moving. They're in motion. You know what I mean? They're in motion. So they're like on fire already.
Yeah, they got all their players back from the championship squad, and they just literally just fucking handed out contracts for them.
And the flippers looking kind of
flipping.
They
flipping.
The flippers looking like some real flippers like this year,
Flippers really gonna flip again. They ain't doing none.
Yeah, they're not looking scary, man.
Flippers is donezo.
Yeah, so it's looking good for the Lakers this year, assuming everyone can stay healthy. I hope that everyone stays healthy this year.
Main part is staying healthy.
I want to see some good basketball.
Healthy,
I want to see some good basketball this year.
Great basketball. Good. I seen good. I want to see Kobe Bryant great.
Yeah.
I need that type of basketball from Lakers. The bubble basketball from the Lakers. That shit was Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, we need
that. We need that mentality and drive.
We gotta channel that up, man. We gotta channel that up for sure.
Facts.
But man, yeah. So like it's getting to that point, So any finishing thoughts?
Yeah. So just to kind of change gears here a little bit. If any of you have been paying attention to what's been going on in the crypto market, then you'd know that Bitcoin has just recently broken its all-time high, and things are looking good. For the end of the year and beginning of next year is what I would assume. There's a lot of different. I'm not gonna claim to be a cryptocurrency guru over here or anything. I'm no expert by any means. I'm consider myself a beginner, but I would definitely advise some of you, young, ambitious people out there. If you are looking to capitalize on your gains, make the biggest gains possible, I would say definitely look into some cryptocurrency investments that you can get into, possibly before the beginning of next year, because things are going to pop off. I'm just going to keep it at that right now, and once Bitcoin reaches that all-time high, and once it peaks out in this bull market, the altcoins are gonna go off, baby. Everything's gonna start hitting like rockets to the sky, to the moon. So just if you got some capital on the side, and it's just sitting there rotting away in a savings account.
Scared money don't make money.
Scared money don't make money, baby. So you might want to definitely look into what you can invest into, so you can triple or quadruple or maybe even 20x some of your money just sitting there collecting dust in that savings account.
That's right. I like that. Second that right there. Love that. I just wanted to say it's been a pleasure, being on this podcast. Thank you to my brother Shadi,
Hey, man.
Abe. They let me come through, join. Long time. We've been discussing about this. Finally made it happen. It's been a pleasure. I just want to say, everybody stay safe out there. Stay blessed. We covered a lot of topics. You guys could digest this, think about it. Maybe you guys have some. Maybe you guys could comment and let us know what you think about. But at the end of the day, everybody check on your friends, check on your family, check on yourself. We all go through a lot of things, it's okay to, sit back, step back, look at the situation, then fully diving into every single time, So, and don't forget, have some time for yourself, have some alone time for yourself, get your mental right, get your mind right, get your spirit right, mind, body, soul, Best Intentions Podcast, you know what it is, baby.
Man, thank you guys, man. First, I want to say, thank you, Abe, for, hosting us,
Absolutely.
In the humble abode right here,
Yes, sir.
I fucking love it. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you to you as well, Nahi, for coming through. Appreciate you having, taking the time, out your busy day, to come talk with us and stuff like that. Another thing is, let's take it back to, the roots, is this, like I said earlier, is that this podcast is, it was rooted on the intention that hey, man, I'm going through some crazy shit, and I feel man, there's nothing I could relate to people with, nobody else knows this pain, but you know what, whatever, whether it's pain or happiness, you think you're the only one that goes through it, and you're not. I hope if some of this resonated. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, we're definitely coming out with more. Expect them. Hopefully it won't be a hiatus like last time. You guys got my word on that. Gonna be more consistent with the content, hopefully. So I hope anyone just got something out of this, and I know I definitely enjoyed myself. So take care. Have a good night.
Yeah, just wanted to say it's been a pleasure here with my host over here, Shadi Aftermath.
Thank you.
And the Bengali Prince over here, and you know who it is right here in the building, right here in Long Beach, Barhoom the Infamous, aka Abe the Ape, baby. So stay strong, stay humble, stay focused. And
you guys want to plug your socials? You want to plug your socials?
Oh, man, I have zero socials.
No socials.
Socials.
It's a rare species right here,
socials, baby.
A rare species right here. Okay, you guys know where to reach me, Shadi _Aftermath on all socials, YouTube. Episodes gonna be up, Anchor, Spotify, all that good stuff. Come check us out, interact. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Peace.